You know what I like? I like doing videos in my car with the sun shining through the tinted windows, because if you see the sun rays, I feel like I am coming down to you from heaven. It's like I'm God right now and you need to listen to me. You know, who knows? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm God reincarnated. You have no idea, right? We have no idea who anybody is. But let's talk today about fantasy dating and how it's exactly like fantasy football. Hear me out. So what do we do in fantasy football? For those of you who do not know what fantasy football is, we draft people based on what teams they are and what position we're in the draft. And we fill our roster full of people we've never met before, but yet each and every week we're pulling for them, we're screaming, we're yelling, we're pissed off that they don't deliver. Fantasy football. Bumble and Tinder and Hinge. Fantasy dating. Take a look at your Bumble, Tinder, and Hinge accounts. And take a look at the amount of conversations and the roster you've accumulated on there. You have all these people that you're having all these conversations with. And then all of a sudden, they drift off. They disappear. They're on your bench. They don't work anymore. But yet we save these conversations because we collect people, because that's what fantasy dating is all about. We get online, we spend time swiping, we send one text to one another, and then we just go on and we look for the bigger, better deal. We literally put the person that we were attracted to 1 second and we throw them on the fantasy dating waiver wire. And that waiver wire then goes and we shuffle them back in and we don't meet people. It's really fucking stupid, and it's such a waste of time, it's ridiculous. If I wasn't talking like God right now, with the light shining through me, looking like a godlike figure, talking to you about an ungodlike way of dating, which is fantasy dating, I would show you my Tinder and Hinge account. It's ridiculous. Tinder is like the biggest waste of time in the entire world. Women just go on there negative nonstop. Why do you even bother going on there? The first thing you say is no douchebags and no hookups. And then you write down how much you like wine. Well, a douchebag and a guy that wants to hook up will read that and say, dun 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 dun, light comes through, here is your flashlight moment, woo, the light bulb is going on, I'm gonna go and fuck this girl because she's a drunk. She talks about wine, she hates douchebags and hookups and everything else, but all I gotta do is pile a couple of glasses of wine down her and she's mine. Wine equals mine when you write it down on your profiles. When they say wine, it means she's mine. God, people. Use the term God right now, right? Going back to the lights, going through. But come on, people. Enough with the fantasy dating. If you're going to get online and you're going to swipe, then put some good pictures up. Actually go and meet people. Here's something I suggest doing. There's a lot of good people out there in Swipeville. There's a lot of people that should be on your starting lineup and not thrown on your bench. You need to give people a chance. So, one night a week, start FaceTiming people to see whether or not you're attracted to them. You like their energy. You like who they're all about. Otherwise, this fantasy dating is just like fantasy football. You're never going to put the pads on. You're never going to own a football team. You're never going to coach a football team, but you're under the illusion that you do. And you're excited if you win. And it's the same way with dating. If you're not going to go meet these people, if you're not going to go hang out with these people and give them a chance, then all you're doing is fantasy dating. What would you rather do? Sleep through the rest of your life in fantasy land? Or would you rather go and participate in reality land? Food for thought right now. Do me a favor, subscribe down below. Pass this video on to all the other fantasy daters out there. As a matter of fact, if you meet somebody and they ghost you on Tinder or Bumble, send them a link to this and go, hey, Mr. or Miss Fantasy Dater, listen to this godlike figure with the lights coming through, right? What he has to say about dating and relationships, because his shit is pretty right on. Anyway, go back to your life. Go back to fantasy dating. Go back to fantasy football. I am going to meet somebody right now in the real world because I prefer a hug over emoticons. I prefer a real hug over a virtual hug. I prefer a real kiss over a virtual kiss. And I prefer real people over fake people any single day. See you soon. Subscribe down below.